Hello, hello, hello. We are live. We are live. We are live. Welcome back to Talk Talk Live. Live on YouTube. We're going to YouTube first, anyways, and then we go to IG. Yes, indeed. So thank you very much for joining me on Talk Talk Live. We are late for a reason. Technical issues. Lord knows my service provider was changed all the internet stuff in this house, and quite simply, it has been shocking service since we've made the change. So. Rogers, you are getting a absolute thumbs down from me with regards to the service in in the house in which I live here, and basically your service sucks. Let me just say that straight out. So sorry for the delay in my getting to you out here on Talk Talk Live. It is not my fault. We've been trying to take care of these service issues pretty much all day. And they've been an absolute thorn in my side. And again, my apologies to you and yours who are viewing this live. And we are live on IG and YouTube right now. So thank you very much for joining me on Talk the Talk Live. And again, I look forward to chatting with you. Yes, indeed. I was just checking on something. Okay, so... let me see what's happening here. Yes, okay. So let's get to it. Let's get to it, people. No delays, no time to waste. And again, I look forward to speaking to you here on Talk Talk Live. Yes, indeed, we have the chat open and available, and we're going to get back to this right now. So again, getting back to it. Yes, we are talking about. Yes, Myron and and Fresh and Fit and the battle between the two. And again, I had wanted to continue the show until tonight, just because there is so much. There's a bit more to talk about there. And yes, look forward to speaking. Let's just get into it straight away. We're just going to feature that right now. Oh yes, this show is sponsored by Duntalk, DUNTALK.com. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Spring Summer line coming soon. This is vintage Dun Talk anyways, and more Dun Talk wear is coming out too soon. DUNTALK.com. And again, like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Looking for some interaction tonight. But if not, here we go. We carry on with the show. So we're getting back into it. Let me do the first things first. Let me just move into my browser here. And we go into the grilling series here, and we're just going to fast forward a bit to a bit later. Here we go. Right around here. Now, let me preface this by saying tomorrow we will have one more show for the week, and this this one really got my goat in terms of the storyline, and it's regarding, quite simply, this gentleman that I found on that was criticizing Myron, and quite simply, I found my first black simp. Anyway, so we'll go on to discuss that a little bit later. It's going to be a little more fervent. I'm just going to research that and get into it. But tomorrow, you'll be getting a bit of anger towards me, towards the male side of things. Anyway, so there's a few men out there who don't want to be men; they just want to be quite simply women's boy toys, quite simply, and curry their favor however possible. And if it means denigrating great men within the space, so be it. Because they are about, well, scorched earth policies, quite simply. And, men, we disavow ourselves, real men disavow ourselves from you. But we're going to get into that tomorrow. That's another time. That's another topic. All right, so we're going to get into this right now on Talk Talk Live. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm just going to fast forward this a little bit here as we go into it. There we go. I'm just going to get into this right now as we go further into the story. It is Myron. It is grilling with Myron Gaines and the Battle of the Sexes, and look forward to going into this as well. So hold on tight as we go into it, and hopeful, fingers crossed, we have good internet, because quite simply it has been in and out all day, and technicians have been brought out because of it. So again, my apologies if there are any interruptions. Let's go into it.
No. I've never had that in my life.
You never heard that?
You went, let me see how I can turn this to a manly thing. and then you just made your own catchphrase.
Men lead, women follow. That's how it's got to be.
I agree with that.
Women can't lead anything.
That's not.
So, Myron's on his game again. Let's go back into it here.
Like the perfect example of being submissive as a man. Fuck giving head, man. That's some bullshit.
Just pleasure your woman and get over it. You don't have to go down and she can just sit on your face.
That's even worse.
Why?
That's even worse. Women don't respect guys that sit there and just eat box all day.
Women respect men that will put her pleasure before theirs.
Fuck no.
Of course they will.
Okay, now this is one thing I've got to say that shout out to Kinetic. This is one thing that I got to say that I definitely disagree with Myron on. I am a guy who likes to pleasure my women. Unfortunately, again, we can agree to disagree on this point. Myron doesn't agree that servicing, pleasuring your woman should be high upon your priority list, if at all on your priority list, if at all on your list. Period. But again, I totally am in unison with this. I think it doesn't limit yourself as a man to do this. However, Myron's pretty much spot on everything else. But we're gonna let the debate continue. So I'm on her side on this. Remember, I'm being impartial, so I am on her side on this one. Let's continue.
Woman's job to pleasure the man.
This is very overly sexist now.
Oh.
I was way over the line.
It was sexist
there was a
line
ago, and now you crossed it. Yes, that's not sexist. That's
very
polite.
sexist.
That's lovely.
Could you imagine if I said, kiss my hand as a man? He's like, what the fuck? This guy's a weirdo.
That's just not, it's like
that's
me
sexism.
No.
Sexism.
He's right on that point. Let's get back into it. He's right on that point. I'm right back with Myron on this end of things because when he says that, again, women benefit. Well, yeah, they do benefit in this sense from sexism, in the sense that we have to be from sexism, in the sense that men have to be chivalrous, and part of chivalry, part of traditional chivalry, is to kiss a woman's hand, open a door, walk on the outside of the sidewalk, all these different things in order to be considered a great protector and provider. And the kiss of the hand is seen as an act of endearment, an act of genuine romance to a woman. But it's to certain men in a new. Well, again, let me say this: romance died and women killed it. So this is more of a romantic gesture. So for a man to automatically kiss your hand, he sees it as subservient. So to certain men, it's seen as subservient. To certain men, it's seen as romantic. So. Myron has, but again, these are all, more or less sexist ideals from which women benefit. So, again, it's, Myron has a right to call this one out. He does. He simply does. Let's continue.
There's some behaviors that are appropriate for one gender while being inappropriate for another, which is healthy and fine.
Sexual activities aren't something that's for one or the other. That is just something that you indulge in together.
Okay, why do men talk to women?
Because we're fantastic.
How so?
Because we're great conversationalists. We are great listeners.
We discussed earlier that we don't care about your opinions.
Yeah, you don't care about my opinion or any woman's opinion.
Most men don't.
No, that's just you and my. Maybe it's different in America, like I said, but most men in the UK value women. They like women aside from our vaginas. You could like a woman and still want her to be quiet. Yes, occasionally be quiet, but there's certain times you do want to have a conversation. There's sometimes I don't want a man to say a lot of things. You can be quiet too.
A woman's job is to please her man sexually. Not the man's.
Jobs is to please each other sexually.
No, it's not. Remember how I said women should work electively? Mm-hmm. Okay, men should please their woman electively.
Okay, but hear me out, right?
Oh.
You're in a relationship.
Good point with Myron there. Men can, if at all possible, pleasure a woman electively. If he wants to. Now, if he has a certain code, if he has a certain way of doing things sexually, which pleases a woman, pleases his woman, because a lot of guys out there, I know of a lot of men who can please a woman simply by through sexual intercourse, and a lot of women ask for it. They don't want a man eating a lot of box, as they say, performing a lot of fellatio. All they would like is for a man to simply pleasure them through intercourse. that has happened to me on a few occasions myself. Including my ex, who will go nameless. She only wanted to be pleasured through intercourse, and again, to each their own. So again, this is not something that needs to. This is a discussion that needs to be had between the two partners within that relationship, within that sexual experience, if they would like such things to do. So it's not exactly compulsory for you to go down on a woman, if at all times. That should be discussed. So again, that is not a necessary component. Now, a lot of women like it, and to be fair, a lot of women do get off through fellatio. Let me say that. However, there are a good amount of women who don't like it, who don't, and who only want sexual intercourse in order to reach sexual gratification. So, to each their own, and that's a discussion to be had by all. But to be forced upon a man to do that is unnecessary. It really is. So let's continue.
Chip, you got free girlfriends.
You're all for guys taking care of women, but you're not for okay.
I am for women taking care of their men. Like
that's your job.
Completely, 100%. However, you have 3 women, yeah, 3 girlfriends. So you got 3 sources of pleasure. So
not right now.
Your pleasure. Okay.
Main girls, or are we talking side girls?
I'm on about in general, just every girl. How many mains? 2.
Right now, 1.
1, and how many sides?
Oh shit.
A few, yeah?
Yeah.
So there's a few going on. So you've got a few people pleasuring you, yeah? And also you can step out at any point and go and get it elsewhere too.
Yeah.
If you want this woman to be loyal to you and exclusive to you, and you're the only person giving her pleasure, do you not think you should pleasure her in every single way?
No. We don't look at vaginas over here.
He thinks pleasuring a woman is being inferior to a woman, and I think he has real serious issues.
He doesn't have serious issues. He does have serious issues. If he doesn't like going down, he doesn't like going down. To a lot of women, they don't like their man going down. Sorry, they don't. This is obviously a woman who does like their man to go down, and quite simply, this is a discussion to be had between the two partners. To be fair, so again, Myron isn't to be shamed because he doesn't enjoy going down, or he can indeed, if for all intents and purposes, he can simply pleasure a woman through intercourse itself. So we can't hold him to account for that. She may hate, but hey, you must congratulate, because if he can do that on his own, hey, all the power to him. Let's continue.
Our pleasure from you guys being quiet, making sandwiches, and giving us sex.
You guys derive pleasure. You don't like us.
You guys derive pleasure from us being successful, being the most attractive guy, how other women look at us.
Men love women that other men love.
Maybe cucks. You want to know what guys like? Let me find a hot girl that doesn't have an Instagram. No one knows who she is. I'm going to bring her out, and people will be like, oh, shit, who's that? We don't know who she is. And we don't need other people to validate her. Women, on the other hand, they want to be with the top guy. They want to be with a guy. He walks in the club or he walks in somewhere. Oh, such and such. Oh, women need social proof. We don't.
That's not true. But also, imagine if you got a girlfriend. That's not true. I don't.
Women don't want social proof?
Status. No.
Okay. Let me ask you a question then. Let's have fun with this.
Okay.
Let's say we met, right?
Mm-hmm.
We met in London, and you find me attractive. I'm like, oh, I'm throwing a party. Like, I'd love for you to come. Bring some of your girlfriends. It's gonna be awesome. And you're like, cool, yeah, for sure. 2 scenarios. You come to the party, right? First one. You show up, you and your girlfriends, and there's 50 dudes and like 3 girls. Are you staying?
No.
Okay. Switch it up. Show up to the party in the second scenario with you and your girlfriends. 50 girls, like 5 guys. Are you staying?
Yeah.
I wonder why. Social proof is important, isn't it?
It's not about social proof.
That is social proof.
Women feel more comfortable being in an environment full of women.
Okay.
See, let's break that down quickly. Now, the fact of the matter is, for a man to procure 50 women to be in a room with 5 men and have them all have a good time together, the man has to have some sort of social proof. The man has to have some sort of clout. The man has to have some sort of standing. The man has to have some sort of presence in order for a man to have all these women together and for them all to have some fun. Case in point, let's say you have a rapper who basically throws a party and it's women only. And it's women only at his place. Drake has done this all the time. Shout out to Drake. And it's women only. They all show up to the house, and it's only him and his crew who are there. So basically, it's a 10-to-1 scenario at Drake's house. The fact of the matter is they're all going to have a good time. The reason why they're there, though, is because Drake has the social proof. Drake has the social standing. Drake has the presence. Drake has the clout to bring all these women there to have a good time. So Myron is right on this point. In order for him to have that social proof, Drake had to sell millions of records. Drake had to basically have all these riches from those millions of sales of records. Drake had to be considered, relatively cool within the pop / hip hop space. Drake had to obtain all these sort of qualities of being a adored man among women to bring all these ladies to his house. So yes, this is all about a part of social proof, but that's all a part of hard work through, I would say for Drake, 18 years of work, nearly 19, nearly 20 years of work for him to get to this point in time. 20 plus years, I would say, because I know Drake didn't exactly just hit it off in 2005, 2006. No, this took a lot of work for him to do this. And so for a man to obtain the sort of clout, I'll let this continue, but I'll give my own example. For Drake to have the sort of clout to bring all these women, if he so chooses, to his mansion so that they could party with only a certain amount of men, a group of men that you can count maybe on four hands, that's social proof. That is clout. That is when you know that you are a man amongst men. You are a high value man, and that is one that women want to get near to. That's social proof. That's exactly what she's arguing. And for the ratio to turn around to have 50 men and just 5 women there, you don't have a lot of social proof. You don't. We all been to those parties where it is a balls fest, it is a basketball practice, and it's no good of a party because no one has the social proof to bring all these ladies in. So that is where we stand with things. Myron is explaining the fact that once you have money, power, success, clout, standing with women, you can procure 50 women in a room, and you and a couple of friends could just be there, and everybody could be considered happy because the ladies know that these guys are it, and they're amongst themselves so they can have a good time. But it's not so. But they know that the man is cool enough that they can be in their presence, and they would be enamored by him. So that's all part and parcel of being within social proof. Shout out to my girl Chanel. I'm waving to you, and let's continue with the show. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Let's go. There we go.
If there's 50 men, I'm going to feel intimidated. I'm going to feel on edge, and I don't like that.
Okay.
That's not about social proof.
No. But see, here's the thing. Your ability to feel safe is rooted in social proof. The man being able to have a bunch of women there displays an ability of, this guy has some kind of social semblance. This guy's able
I wouldn't have even thought of it like that. I would have been like, great.
Because women live life on easy mode.
That's right.
That's what I'm trying to say. See, women live life on easy mode. You don't even understand all the bits and pieces of work that go into men creating an environment for women to have fun. Like, this is what I mean when I say girls have zero concept of what it's like to be a man or to be attractive. And this is why we can have multiple chicks and you guys can't, because we have to do all the work. Like, that's not right there.
I think that's just you, because I think whenever...
No, that is wrong. That is not just him. That is pretty much every man of any high social standing anywhere in the world at any time in history. Women don't see the work men have to do to obtain the gaze of a woman, let alone many women in one room, knowing full well that there's only a few men to whom they wish to, in which these women want to capture the men's gaze. I finally got that up. They don't understand the amount of work it takes for you to, indeed, be socially adept and financially backed and win enough cool points and be charming enough and be suave enough and to smell good and to look good and to have all these things so that all these ladies that you invite can just come over and they can be at peace with each other because they're, I would say there's a bit of intimidation because there's a bit of competition going around. But you are at peace because of the fact that you know you are there for one reason only, is because that guy is there with you. is there, and you want his attention, his adulation, and soon enough, maybe his progeny. They don't get that. That's why Myron is sitting in gate right here. She doesn't get that. All women get is the fact that she's at a party with this guy. She didn't understand the work it takes to be the guy. The years of blood, sweat, and tears to be that guy. And that's why I have one more thing tomorrow, and that's where I'm going off on this black simp, quite simply, and it blew my mind to see his video today. How much of a panderer this guy was. He was a panda bear in the in the name of the late great Kevin Samuels, and a quote from him. Anyways, he was a panderer. It just irked me. Anyways, let's continue.
Everyone goes home and they go to sleep at night. You sit there with the graph and you dissect every scenario ever, and then you try and make it like bulletproof. When actually it's not that hard.
Men must do
You
the
make
work.
it harder than it needs to be.
Men have to do the work to be attractive to women.
He is thinking about that way too much.
We have to think about that way too much. We literally have to. He begged. No, he did not have to beg. Literally, he did not. Well, he did not have to beg. For Myron, if you know who this man is, he does not have to beg pretty much anymore. He doesn't. He may have done so a couple years ago when his cut wasn't so much, but now he doesn't have to. The fact of the matter is, he's thinking about this way too much. Yes, men have to think about this way too much. Men have to think about this way too much. I'll give my own example. When I throw my party here in the summer, and I get about 400, 500, 600 people. And that includes about, I would say 60 to 75 women of my age group. Well, of a certain age, of which I like. The fact of the matter is, and this is citywide no. Let me say that. Oh, Sierra husband begged. Sierra husband. Well, again, Mr. Wilson is indeed a special case, but we're going to leave him to the side right now. When we have these sort of parties here, the fact of the matter is, ladies don't arrive here year after year simply because it's a run-of-the-mill party. It's a great party, yes, but because of my quote-unquote social proof, quote-unquote, I am able to throw a party that people like, that people want to come back to every single year. And I bartend. Let me say that. But I'm dry bragging. This is the first time I brag about this, and probably one of the fewest things. So again, don't think I do this every day. I'm just using myself in this as an example. But for me to do that, I've had to undergo years of trial, error, process, and being suave enough to give answers and to invite people and show them a good time, and again and again and again, because I am not of a Drake level. I am not an athlete. I am not any of these things. I'm here just allowing the people to have a good time, and they're coming back to it. But that in and of itself is a science. And you have to think of all these different things for women to feel good. That's why I say for the lady, the host here, she does not understand the work it takes for a man to make himself of a certain standing that will allow, when you don't have that sort of celebrity, because that's usually reserved for celebrities. When you don't have that sort of celebrity where you can literally, at a moment's notice, call up a restaurant, say I'm have a little get together. I want to have about 50 friends. You get a bouncer at the door, and Bob's your uncle, and there you go. Or at a loft party, or at a backyard barbecue, or any of these things. It took years for him to get to that level for a woman to say, yes, I want to be here with a certain amount of women. I don't care the scenario. I know I'm going to have a good time because this man is social proof. I want to get his attention. She does not understand the meticulous amount of work it takes to get there. That's why women wait at the finish line. They don't. Some will be with you on the journey, but that's a very, very chosen few. Most wait at the finish line. Most want to see the end result, not the step-by-step, painstaking work it takes to get there. Right? So, he's right. But, again, we're dealing with a lady, as I said yesterday, who literally has shame. I'm just waiting on your comment there. Shame, insults, guilt need to be right. She's throwing sign language to them because she has no clue what it takes, and she has no clue that she's never prepared for this interview period. That's why she's being shockingly embarrassed and be debated to death. Now let's continue.
Because it wasn't easy for him to get those 50 bitches at that.
Why are you ugly growing up?
What does that have to do with anything?
Why are you ugly growing up?
All right, I'll answer that in a second. Why is she asking me this fucking weird-ass question about ugly?
Because we know she's trying to slight you, Myron. That's the only way she can get back at you is if she slights you. We know this. This is the whole sign language. Shame, insults, guilt need to be right. Oh, you're ugly as a child. That's why you've had to work on all these different things, and that's why you hate women. It's the only way she can strike back because there's no other way. There's no other way she could. No other way she could. No other way she could. That's the only way she could fight back. Were you ugly as a child? If you're ugly as a child, oh, that's the reason why you hate women. Because we rejected you as a child. But the fact of the matter is, men have had to be ugly, period. Most of us started ugly. But again, I'll let Myron tell it. I'll let Myron tell it. I'm speaking ahead of him. Just let's go.
Growing up, all guys were pretty much. See, this is what I mean when I say women only see like surface level of the work that men put in, right?
But not every man puts in this much effort or this much thought behind
the most attractive ones do, and this is how you get the girls. You have to put in all this effort. This is why a man that is attractive, it's like a superpower because it's so hard to get. You expect to just bang one girl after you learned all this shit? Hell no.
But you play women like we're a game. You play the relationships like it's a game, like it's a test that you're always trying to pass, but it's not.
The problem
it's meant to be beautiful. It's meant to be harmonious.
Here's the deal, and this is the shocking thing about it. I'll say, don't start. I'll put. Okay, I don't know what that means, Chanel, but you gotta flesh that one out for me. Flesh that one out, but. That last comment you said to me, flesh that one out. But what I'm saying is this, is women have always played this game since they were 18. Remember, women have inherited this sort of value by the fact they're just women, right? That's why they can basically call the shots in terms of sexual intercourse. They're the final say. If they want it to go down, then it goes down. If they don't want it to go down, it doesn't go down. And through this practice, and through this inheritance, and through this privilege, they can play games. They can play games with men, and to the point where one man could be the man who takes them out for dinner. Another man could be the man who buys them Birkin bags. Another man could be the man to help them fix a tire. Another man could be a man to help them move. Another man could be a man to do any sort of thing for them. But there will be one guy to whom their sexual gaze will be put upon. They will put upon. And usually that guy doesn't have to pay much. If not, it's for free. And this has happened since the age of 18. This is what playing games are all about. Now she's referring to men playing games, and she's all of a sudden upset. She's all of a sudden, she is so butthurt at the fact that men are men are running the game. Men are basically designating women, putting women in their place because men have had to do the work in order to get there to play games. This is not an easy thing. Not every man can play games with women the way Myron can. Not every man can do it. No. They can do it to a certain level, but not to top level. Those are for a chosen few. Those are for the really successful and brilliant men that are out there that are of high value that can play these games. They can play games. And that's why the ladies don't like these men, because they can call the shots. And they can say, you know what? I'd rather not just have one woman. I'd rather have 2 or 3 or 4 women. Just like women did when they were 17, 18, 19, 20 years old. Now they're shaming men for doing the same thing they are doing. You see that? You see the irony of it all? See how turnabout is not always fair play? Well, it is in this case, because the fact of the matter is, when women play games when they're 18 to 24, men are now playing games when women are 30 upward. And it hurts them. It butt hurts them. It's a shame, but hey, you should have used your sexual marketplace value, your youth, your beauty, and your facility while you were young, while you were ahead of the game, to find the right man we understand the game. We understand the game. You should have used that time when you ran the game to get what you want. And now it's too late. And now you have a man like Myron who's turned around and plays the game on you, and you don't like it. Right, ladies? Let's go.
And women started this game. It is a game. That's why they call it You Have Game. It's just that women don't like it when they know that you're playing the game with them. They just don't like it when a man can outmaneuver them in this game because so few guys can do it.
It's not about outmaneuver. No one's supposed to be winning. We're supposed to be on the same team. We're supposed to be working together as a dynamic.
You guys wear makeup, heels, waist trainers. Everything about you guys is a lie.
That's not a lie.
Absolutely.
I could take my heels off. I'm still the same person. I'm just a little bit shorter.
Let's say I told you I was...
But take off their makeup.
Okay, well,
then that's the last straw. You got them there.
And then you find out that I work at McDonald's. I'm probably going to get me too, aren't I?
Because you're a liar.
Oh, okay. But what about women wearing makeup?
Is
wearing
that
waist
a lie?
trainers?
Wait,
filters on Instagram.
My makeup off straight
filters
away.
on Instagram.
I feel no way about being barefaced.
Makeup, women are fake. Everything about them is deceptive, guys. I told y'all. Everything about women, a lot of the times, is based in deception.
You've been hurt, heartbroken, and damaged by women.
Shame and self-guilt need to be right. Watch it.
A therapist or a good cry would change a lot of your views.
What did I say that was incorrect?
That women just lie about everything. That women care about social status.
The makeup industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yes, it is, and it's also very damaging for women. Hence, I
change an argument.
Why?
Because makeup in itself inherently is to deceive.
Or to enhance.
No, it's to make up for your lack of aesthetics. That's why it's called makeup.
If I take my makeup off...
Bang! Myron got it with that one. Makeup to make up for your deficiencies. Oh my God. Wow. Woo, man, don't bring this guy to a feminist rally. I tell you what, he would, oh boy. But listen, this is, Myron has dealt with 3,000 women on his show. Check out Fresh and Fit. He does this on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, where he has a group of women. He sets them down and literally has a chat and conversation with them about the privilege women have in the dating market and how men now are observant of it and can, if they work hard enough, get ahead of it. But again, he's right about makeup. The one thing that he has as his trump card is the fact that, okay, he is right. They call men liars, but women are a walking lie simply because of what their wardrobe's about. Simply because what's on their face. Simply because what's in their hair. It is a lie. It is a lie to enhance, to make you look better than you are. If you weren't such a liar, you wouldn't wear makeup outside. You wouldn't wear the heels. You wouldn't wear the waist trains. You wouldn't wear all these things in order to get yourself ahead with men. You wouldn't do it. These are all enhancers. Men, we can't wear makeup. This is us. What you see is what you get. Our height, we can't make that up either. What you see is what you get there. That's why to the short, stocky, hairless, glass-wearing men out of the world who are a good percentage of the male population who are ixnayed out of the dating market simply because women want the Chad and Tyrone and the confident, inspirational, aspirational, $100,000 earner, the rule of 6 gentlemen, 6-pack, 6 figures, 6 feet tall men with 6 inches or more, you know where. Hey, unless you're one of those guys, you're in trouble. But Don't call out women in their makeup. Don't call out women in their heels. Don't call out women and their waist trainers. Don't call women in their weaves. Don't call out women and their nails. Don't call any enhancement out on women because they're enhancements. You have a comment here. I made a mistake with my first husband. Oh, well. Again, you know, as the women, as your female callers would say, you live and you learn, and you know you're young and dumb, as they say. It's the young and dumb excuse, but again, it is for women out there to realize that you have a finite time to take advantage of all these enhancements, all of these make-ups that you have in your life. And that's usually from the age of 19 to about 29, 30. That's the golden age of women. Past that point, the three pillars of youth, beauty, and fertility are waning. By the time you're 35, they're waning even more so. And by the time you're 40, you're pretty much out there on your own. And that needs to be recognized. Guys are starting to recognize that. Women don't like that because when men realize that if you work hard enough and if you enhance your looks over time and realize that enhance your looks, enhance your game, enhance your frame, enhance your finances to a point where you can start calling shots and you can start asking for women in their prime. Women don't like that. That's why they ask you to date women within your age range. But unfortunately, I can't do that. But again, shout out to Myron. He called out the makeup industry. More than $1 billion industry because women don't want you to know the truth. And it's true. That's why they call it makeup. He's right. Let's go.
For lack of aesthetics.
I look the exact same. Oh, yeah, I do. I look the same. Like,
yeah, and I got a 12-inch dick.
Do you? That's fantastic. That's why you got so many hoes. So go back to earlier.
Sure.
Did you grow up ugly?
Every man does.
It makes a lot more sense. Do you know what? As soon as he told me he was an ugly kid, everything made sense. It just clicked. It was like, bing. Makes sense. I'm stop.
She has nothing else to say, but shame and souls need to be right. Chanel, she say, you need to know even when you're younger. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When you're not, let me say this, Chanel, when you're 19 to 24 years of age, okay, when you realize that you have a finite amount of time in which you could take advantage of your looks, take advantage of your youth, beauty, and fertility, you don't want to spend that on the wrong guy. You don't want to put your sexual energy, your romantic gaze on the wrong guy. I understand you have to, trade and you have to make sure you're with the right one. And usually that should happen while you're in school, especially in higher education. But if you're not, so be it. The fact of the matter is you have to be ever so careful because there are men out there who are not exactly the best of choices. And you need to be aware of that. And you need to find men who are protective providers while you can. I'll leave that there with you, Chanel. Again, and listen, let me say this, Chanel. Your beauty will not fade. Well, if you take care of your looks long enough, your beauty won't fade. However, there are things that do. And the three pillars that I explained right there, youth, beauty, fertility, two of those you can't change. You cannot get back. And that is your fertility, that is your youth. When men would see the cat out of the bag and realize who you are and what age you are, and where you are on the fertility scale, that's the problem. Beauty, yeah. If you take care of yourself, it deteriorates slowly over time. However, most men favor women who are of the 18 to 24-year-old range. And anything closer to that, they hold in higher regard than not. So therefore, age is a part of that. You see what I'm saying? No man will take your beauty, I get it, but there's always the age, and there's always your fertility. That remains. And time will take that from you, especially when you hit 40. That's gone. And if men realize your age, that's why the whole idea of women not giving away their age is another lie. It's a white lie, but still another lie. It's so prevalent these days because women don't want to be called out as being deficient from any other woman. That's why so many women of a certain age are in. So many women of a Gen X, now millennial age, are in competition with Gen Z ages because they're in competition for the same guy, the high value man to which everybody is bringing their attention to. And once you realize that most men look for women who are of their Gen Z age, if they have a father and if they are fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, then you get it. Then it's the eyes are open. All a man has to do is stay clear of trouble, as I have done, and you have your chance at these women. And as long as you stay fit, then you have your chance at these women. Yes, but a lot of men miss that issue too. So, as I know, Chanel, you're a lovely lady. I understand that, but the fact of the matter is, those two pillars are still. You have your beauty though. See, I give you a thumbs up. Let's go.
The picture's starting to piece together now.
Here's the thing. A man's looks aren't as important as you think, because like I said before, men are able to make up in other ways. But men effectively are all ugly when they're young because they're not able to provide security, which is the most important thing that women look for. Men really don't blossom until they're older anyway, because the things that make us attractive take time to acquire.
Okay,
At
but you can
18
still be
years
an attractive man. People can look at you and go, actually, you're really attractive.
But that doesn't mean you're going to get women to take you seriously. You could be a handsome guy and get some pussy here and there, but are you going to be able to keep them? Are you going to be able to get them to respect you? No. When women become 30, it's kind of downhill from there. For us, when we become 30, it's all uphill.
Okay.
If we do.
And Myron is right on that. That's right. Because as I just discussed, when you hit 19, when a man hits 19 and a woman hits 19, they're in two different worlds. When a woman hits 19, she's hitting her sexual peak. She's getting more attention from men of all ages. She runs the dating market as we speak because she not only gets the attention of her peers, but also from older men. They're the ones who fly her out. They're the ones who give her money, clothes, pay her bills, do whatever it takes in order to get her attention. When a man's hit 19, there's no woman coming to their rescue. And you have to be of a certain look to get those women. Or have a certain repartee. Or have money, muscle, frame, game already at that time. But even then, as Myron said, unless you have a girlfriend, you only get that sexual attention, romantic interest sporadically. Because women are always looking higher and above and say, okay, what's my better bet? Especially at that time of their lives. That's what women do not understand. Chanel says no one should say you're done. You're not done. You need to adjust. You're not done, but you need to adjust your expectations. I'll say this, Chanel. When it comes to dating, you shouldn't think that you are more valuable than a woman who's, I would say, let's call it 10, 15 years younger. If that is your age. You shouldn't be considering yourself, because remember, they have beauty. You may be beautiful. You may be okay. You may be. Let's call it. You may be beautiful as them, but they have youth and fertility on their side, and that is an asset to a man. A man looks at that and say, "Okay, I want to build my life with her because she can have my kids, and we can take it 20, 30 years." With a woman who's about that 39 to 40-year-old age, she's only going to have one kid, maybe, and it involves IVF, and that's $10,000 a shot, as I've explained here on Talk Live. Or you'll need a surrogate, which is about $50,000 per baby. Are you getting this now? The added expense when you have a young girl who can literally say, okay, as long as I'm in love with you, we're going to have a kid right now. Oh, do we need any expense? No, because she is fertile. She can carry a child to term. Men have done the math. That's what we have to understand here, Chanel. Men have already done the math. Your beauty, fine, it's there. We understand it. We see it. However, when we do the checks, when we do the stats, when we understand where you stand in terms of your time of life, you're at a disadvantage, unfortunately. But let's continue with this. But again, good points. One and all, I thank you. But again, that's the only thing that's the issue, is that the fact of the matter is it's the fertility issue and it is the youth issue. That's the problem. Because men know what we see at 24-year-old, and we know the difference between a 24-year-old and a 34-year-old and a 44-year-old and a 54-year-old and a 60. You getting this? Right. Let's go.
Do the work.
So women depreciate with age?
Absolutely.
You don't think women can age like fine wine? Because I think a lot of women get better with age.
Fuck no.
Yeah, my sister, she was a very late bloomer, but she's absolutely stunning now.
Yeah, that's your sister. Of course you're going to be biased.
Yeah, I'm not biased, actually.
Yeah,
Loads of people
she's
have
probably mid, to be honest. Her sister's absolutely mid. Anytime a girl, like, sensationalizes their friend or their sibling, they're mid.
Why? Are we trying to say...
Wow! Myron broke it down. Oh my God! But yeah, he's got to be cruel to be kind. He understands. Listen, he's interviewed 3,000 women. He understands them. He knows them to the core. He knows them. Even before the 3,000 women interviewed, he understood this then. That's why he can call a woman out and call them on their boat. And you know what? They can say nothing to, because he's read. He knows how they'll react, what they'll say, how they'll say it. Okay, it's the men that are the deadbeats. Well, you know what? We're going to have another discussion about one sort of man on Talk to Talk Live tomorrow, because I saw this video today that, okay, talk about a black simp. I found him. I found one. I haven't featured one here on this show as of yet, but we found one. We're going to do it tomorrow night at Talk Talk Live, so tune in for that. It's a special Friday episode, and well, listen, he's entitled to his opinion, but he's about to get cooked, because he insulted one man and a hero to many, and quite simply, he deserves the cooking. Anyways, let's continue.
I'm mid.
How old are you?
Doesn't matter.
Oh, okay, exactly. See, you couldn't even want to say how old you were.
Because my age was going to change your answer.
There you go.
Because you couldn't just say, oh, no, yes, or no. You were going to judge it by how old I am.
Look at her avoiding me. I got her on the ropes now.
I don't even know what his issues are. That's the problem. They're that deep-rooted.
No, it's no issues. He knows what he's talking about. He's got you there.
Men universally want younger women. And women know this. So once they get of a certain age, they don't want to say their age anymore.
He doesn't...
Okay, so... I'm going to answer your question right there, your comment right there. If you get this, it's men that are the deadbeats. No, well, listen. If I went into what goes on in the family law court system and how men are being held to ransom by ladies of all types in order to get what they want financially, it would... I mean, we featured this show on Talk Talk Live. Go back into my lives recently about the divorce lawyer, who had a discussion about love and relationships. He literally said it's virtual suicide for a man to go into a modern marriage these days, because they fail, and not only that, they can lose their fortune simply because of a woman's whim. So it's not that men are dead. No, men aren't deadbeats. It's the fact that the majority of men, there are some deadbeats, I'll give you that, absolutely. But the majority of men are good, upstanding citizens who are taken advantage of by women who are incentivized to leave. Believe me, they're incentivized to leave because, especially if the male is the breadwinner, they can get child support, they can get alimony, they can get equalization payments. And if they don't, guess what? The government's right there to help them, to back them up and say, hey, you better pay up or we're going to take your license or we'll put you in jail. Either one. So men are held by the short and curly. So it's not that men are deadbeats, believe me. Most of them aren't. It's just that men aren't taking the deal anymore. They're literally not taking the deal. That's why marriage rates have plummeted over the last, I would say last 10 to 20 years, because they know marriage is a bad deal. And the government backs it. And the government definitely backs it to women. Now that women are becoming fee earners, they're seeing the price they pay, and they don't like it either. They don't like it either. See, Adele. C. Kelly Clarkson. C. Who's that lady on Love and Hip Hop? That other lady. I don't know what her name is. Maybe you guys can join me on that. But I have to say it. Deadbeats aren't deadbeats because well, you can't be a deadbeat because the government will find you and make sure you pay. See, it's very difficult to be a deadbeat unless you take off to some, I don't want to be prejudicial. Unless you take off to some sort of island or some sort of getaway destination that they can't find you, the government will find you because they don't want to be on the hook for any sort of welfare or any sort of equalization payments. They don't want that. So there are very, very few deadbeats out there. The government makes sure of that. Let's continue.
Understand women. He understands his perspective of women and his experience with women, which has damaged him, and now he has no respect for women. I think women gain value as they age too. I think this whole going for younger women is because men like to manipulate women, and they can't manipulate women when they've got past a certain age because they've got way too much experience behind them now. Younger girls who haven't lived, not necessarily, that's not necessarily true at all. In your experience, yes, I know you've been traumatized. I'm saying with a lot of women.
So you're saying men value experience?
No, I'm saying men value manipulation for younger women. You go for young women because they're easier to handle, they're easier to maintain. They haven't had the relationship experiences. They've not had life experience to shape them, to shift them, to build them. You want to build them.
That shit, man. We want girls that aren't used and abused.
I will stop that there for a second and explain this. The reason why men look at younger women, it's not to name and shame. Let me say that. Say what's up to Leslie there. Yes. The reason why men look for younger women is because of the Holy Trinity. I explained this already. Youth, beauty, fertility. And as Myron said, the less amount of experience you have. And the fact of the matter is, here's the thing. The older a woman gets, the higher expectations become. You don't want a brokey. You don't want to grow with anybody. You want a ready-made man who's going to come in and save the day. You want your white knight. Or black knight. If you're into that sort of thing. Shout out to my BBC. Anyway, you want that guy. Yeah, especially as you're older. You're not willing to tolerate and grow with a certain man. You have expectations. And it's been heard from time immemorial. So this whole idea of men saying, oh, you can manipulate a woman. No, because you as an older woman, as I've already said, your Holy Trinity is lessened. Absolutely lessened by the fact that you can only carry a certain amount of babies to term, and your youth is gone. Your beauty may stay, as I said, and I've debated with Chanel and debated with Leslie. Your beauty may stay, but time is a humbler. Time makes us all concede to certain points. Time is undefeated. Indeed, Father Time is undefeated, as my man Charles Barkley would say. Father Time is undefeated, and it's true. That's why men always look towards the younger ones, because he could start his legacy with them more so than a woman of a certain age. Now, if you hit 30, 31, 32, yes, there's still time. But when you hit 35 and when you hit 40, see Ebony K. Williams, guess how hard it is for her to get things done. See Naomi Campbell, one of the most beautiful women in the world. She can't start absolute garbage. She had to go out and make it happen herself. Because no man was taking that deal. She was There's an older lady who literally wouldn't take nothing less than rich white men. And yet, rich white men didn't want her. Go figure, eh? Let me see. Chanel is saying, the question, do you have a spermicide to get a girl pregnant? Do we have spermicide to get a girl pregnant? No. I wouldn't have a spermicide to have a girl pregnant. No. I mean, I could do it the old-fashioned way, but not a spermicide. No. I mean, I've tested my sperm and it's still swimming, but I wouldn't say I have spermicide. Definitely. So I hope that answers your question. But again, I'm not. Nah. When the right one comes along, then we'll deal with it in the old-fashioned way. But if not, there are other means and ways and means to do it. But there are still other ways and means to do it, and do it so many ways. With women, especially of a certain age, they can do it once, maybe twice, if they're lucky, but it's usually with medical help. Just saying. So, I hope that answers your question, Chanel. Let's continue.
Manipulate young women.
Let me ask you a question.
Go on.
You're going to do a cross-country trip across Europe, right?
Great analogy.
You need to get a car. Can't get any type of mechanical help or anything else like that. You have to drive straight through, all right? You got two options. You got a 2002 Honda, right, with 100,000 plus miles on it, okay? Or you got a brand new Honda, 2024, with 0 miles on it. Which one are you going to use to make that long-ass journey? Which one would you prefer?
I'm going to go with the older one.
You're not going to get...
Gotcha! He got her. He knew that there was an answer. Oh, you're not going to use the older one. No, you're not. You're going to use the young one. You know it. You know in your heart of hearts you got it. And he's right. If you want a long journey of life with a woman, you want it with a younger one because she can be with you for a longer period of time. Even when you're younger or you're older. Same thing. Same thing. Especially when you want to start your own progeny, you want it with a younger girl because she can carry babies to term over a longer period of time. You can get 3 or 4 or 5 babies if you have a woman of a certain age. You can't do that when you have a woman who's in her late 30s, early 40s. You can't do it. You can only get one. You get one, maybe get 2 if that, but you're done. It's true. Now, it depends on a man's preference, of
But
course.
guess what?
You're going to be stuck on the road.
We're not mechanical problems.
Hold on. So you're going to take the newer one because you don't want to get stuck on the side of the road, which is cool. That perfectly signifies marriage and relationships. I don't want to use a used up car that's been through the ringer and take it through the long journey of marriage. I want a car that's going to go off of my lead, a car that hasn't been used, a car that doesn't have issues, a car that doesn't have bad Carfax on it. That's how men operate. We want girls that are inexperienced.
Men, they say they're high value. I've got this, I've got that. If you're so high value, get a woman your own age who's got the same experiences, the same... No, you can't. Because you can't.
Wrong, because you can't have the same experience as that woman. You want a baby, you can't have it with a woman your age, especially my age. You can't do it. You can't do it. Not to the extent that you wish to have. So that's why you always got to grade down. You got to go younger. You got to go younger. Sad but true. It's like telling a short, fat guy, sorry, I prefer a man who's 6 feet and handsome. It's just the way it is. And that's the way for a man, that's just the way it is. You want a woman who doesn't have the miles on her, who can get pregnant at any time, and who can indeed has the youth and beauty on her to boot. Especially, and it all depends on how much, fit femininity, friendliness, cooperation, submission you have with this woman as well. All these things count. Let's continue.
You can't manipulate them. You can't morph them into these things. You go for younger girls that you can raise. It's like grooming, and you're not even realize it. It's like grooming.
Women want men that are tall, charming, experienced, make money, etc. They want older men, right? Men, however, we want the opposite. We want younger women because we want someone.
Listen to this, ladies. Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen.
We want someone that's going to lead you, so that means they need experience. Why is this the beginning of time?
I think with women.
But let me ask you this.
Go on.
This is the beginning of time. Why have men always wanted virgin women?
Most men wouldn't. I don't know, because of shit in bed and she won't ever know.
No.
Men value inexperience. Men want inexperience, guys. Don't sit there and let these girls sell you can use cars.
That shame and self-guilt need to be right now. They're shaming you into taking an older model vehicle.
And that has had experience. We're going
to come back and finish the second hour here. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live.
That's what it means.
you went and got an 18-year-old girl, yes, she would move to you and do all of these things.
I'll be back in just a bit, just to finish off this, because there's only a few minutes left, and then we're going to end the show. So come on back. Thank you very much for joining us, and look forward to second hour.
Translation.
Talk soon on IG.
And don't say sexually.
When a girl says "find myself," or when a girl says "finding myself," translation, I'm going to be for a period of time.
18-year-old doesn't know who she is. She doesn't know what her morals are. She doesn't know what she stands for. She doesn't know what she can tolerate and what she can't tolerate in life. She's not had enough experience to make them decisions, okay? So that car, the old car, is probably going to cut through the side roads because it's really fucking experienced, yeah, and it's going to get there without breaking down because it knows the route. This one's going to trample along, yeah, and she's going to get a few bumps in the road because she didn't know which ones to avoid. And
thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live. We're into the second hour here, and let's see what the time is here.
You don't care about your
yes, 10:33. We want to finish this off by 11 o'clock, and we should. So let's get into it.
She doesn't know what you want. She's not going to be able to be what you need.
Let me pause this for a second. We're still talking to Standout TV v. Myron Gates. We're just finished off the conversation here. And Myron's raised so many good points. It's just that, she doesn't have anything to say, but she only has her sign language to go on, and it shows. It really is. It really does show. Yes, indeed. I would like to see this one a bit later, but I ain't going to bring this. That is a sneak preview to what will be. Yeah, let me just stop that there, because this guy needs, well, we're going to have a discussion about him a bit later. But let's go back to our original show. That's if you're watching on YouTube. You may have got a sneak preview as to what we're going to be featuring tomorrow, but I'm not going to say now. Anyways, especially to my IG viewers. So, anyways, as the lady was saying, oh, you as an older man should only have older women. No, that's like us telling you, just to recap. That's like us telling women you should only have short guys with small penises, smaller bank accounts, and less handsome features. Yeah. You should not have the rule of 6. 6 feet, 6 inches or more, 6 feet tall, and 6 figures or more, 6 inches, 6 foot tall, and the rule of 6, basically. You shouldn't have the rule of 6. So, sorry, ladies. If you want to continue with the rule of 6, and remember, with regards to the rule of 6, there are only 15% of the population that are 6 feet, 6 inches or taller. And those who are 6'2" to 6'3" and above, it's only 3%. Just remember that. Most men are of 5'7" to 5'9" in height. So you're going to have to temper your expectations. But again, you have your preferences. We're not going to ask you to change those. So why are you changing a man's? Because you know that it hurts. But it hurts for men too. Remember. But we have had to adapt for such changes. As for you now, well, hey, so do you. And you're a big girl now. You're a mature woman right now. You should understand this. You should understand this. Especially in the modern day and age. But hey, so too bad, so sad if you don't. Let's continue.
You're going to have to teach her.
You got to teach her.
And then when you taught her,
that's your job as a man.
She's probably going to leave you because she's going to realize that you're not actually that great.
Get it done, guys. No. If my girl can't get along with my mom, I know something's wrong with her. No, my mom comes first.
He's a mommy's boy.
As much as you say I hate women and all these other things, it was my mom that awared me on all this stuff.
Wow.
And then she warned me.
Shame sells guilty to be right, gentlemen.
American women, Western women aren't going to stick with you through thick and thin. I come from a Muslim background. My family is Sudanese. So it's a little bit different compared to Western culture.
The way he is makes a lot of sense when he talks about how his parents raised him and how his parents were growing up. What would you do if I went to prison for 2 years?
I'd have other chicks, and then I'd greet you on your way out.
What if I went to jail for you? So I was riding it for you, so you did something, I didn't snitch. But my one condition was that you had to be loyal to me.
I would tell you that's not how I show loyalty. I show loyalty by when you come out, you're never going to work again. But
I'm saying to you, look, I really want you to do this one thing for me, and it's just to wait for me for 2 years.
You don't dictate those terms.
Wow. So you would never be loyal under any circumstance?
We do not negotiate with terrorists. No, we do not negotiate such terms with ladies. But again, I am not one to be in those predicaments anyways. But for men, I mean, that's well, that's one that's tinged in a slight bit of, R word, slight. But again, I will be, it'll be done there anyway. So, will you be you'll be around, yeah? Later?
Today?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'll talk about that. Anyways, just talking to the technical staff here and making sure that he is available. Anyway, sorry about that. But anyways, yes. Yeah, she's Myron's holding his own here, and it is so clear to see this man has dealt with all sorts of women over his time on YouTube, and also in his previous age as a member of border security with the United States Border Patrol, and with the FBI. I think he's an FBI agent. Yes, indeed. He's border security and FBI. So again, this is a man who's in a good understanding of women and has a good handle of them. That's why he can run the game as he has. He is very successful at it. And any sort of woman who shames him, he deals with them in kind, and that is giving them fast data statistics, as my man Kevin would say, R.I.P. Godfather. As he, breaks things down to her thusly, and she came unprepared. Quite simply did.
Work again when you get out. That's more
but
important.
But you're
than
still going to go
bitches.
and have sex with people. It's not more important. I'd
That is
rather
more
a man
important.
be loyal to me than provide for me financially.
Looking at things through a female gaze.
You won't fuck no one then, will you, mate? Actually, you'd probably enjoy that because there's men in prison. No women to deal with.
See?
See,
Shame and self-guilt need to be right.
To fuck one bitch, that's dumb.
Was your dad monogamous to your mum?
Yeah, because he was a brokey. He had to be.
If your dad cheated on your mum, how would you feel?
I'd applaud him. I'd be like, fuck yeah, you got your money up, man.
How do you think your mum would feel?
You know what? She wouldn't leave. She's a real one. She would be like, damn, okay.
If it was continuous?
She wouldn't leave.
Do you think she'd be happy with the dynamics of that relationship, though?
She knows how it is.
Okay. His mum is 100% leaving. She sounds like a great woman. She is not staying if he cheated on her.
Ridiculous. But no, he was monogamous to her, to my knowledge.
Because he knows the right way to be.
We could be full and still look at the menu. We're not like women, man. You guys, when you're with a man that you love and respect, you're like, oh, men are invisible and
literally,
so loyal.
tunnel vision.
And so loyal.
Yeah.
We're not like that.
Well, learn to be.
Huh?
Learn. You learn how to do.
That, in and of itself, is the hope of women everywhere. That we look at romance, we look at dating, we look at marriage through the female gaze. Meaning that once you are with the person that you love, honor, and respect, you see no one else. You literally see no one else but that woman, but that man. Or that woman in this case. Hey, I can't judge. 2020, it's 2024. But you see no one else. And this is the issue that men have been dealing with for centuries. The fact that if you are a man of certain means, you do see other women. You do have that gaze. Even if you have a modicum of funds, you still look. And so and in many cases you still partake. Because men have always had the idea that you can still love your woman, protect and provide for her, and yet still have the eyes for someone else. And have that sort of variety that you crave as a man. Because one day we may want a Chinese girl or an Asian lady. The next day we could ask for Latina. The next day we could ask for black. The next day we could ask for white. It depends on what's in front of us and at what time of day or month or year it is. Unfortunately. That's why in such circumstances where any sort of opportunity arises, we have to keep it quiet. We have to adhere to the quote unquote cheating rules. No babies, no big ticket items, no children. I did say children. No babies, no big ticket items, no STDs, and no embarrassment. Once those are out of the way, then we're good. We're good. We are literally good. But ladies only will always push the adage that it should be me for you and you for me and we're a team and we're together and there should be no one else and I could be every woman and no. Unfortunately, that's not the case. And that'll never be the case. So, if you have a man who's worth it, sometimes, lady, you have to pay a blind eye if he's coming home to you at the end of the day. So, let's continue.
All these other cool
Okay, how about this? Learn to like a guy that's 5'1".
Happily.
Do you have one?
No.
Okay, there you go.
Don't try and throw another thing in the works.
Yeah.
Stop avoiding the question. This
Got her.
God damn it. When you learn to like 5'1" guys, I'll learn to be with one woman.
5'5".
Yeah.
If he was 5'5".
All right, well, I get 5 women then.
Okay, but if he was 5'5", but he was everything that I've ever wanted in a man, yes, I would make that sacrifice, and I would say, okay,
I'll make
cool.
that sacrifice. 5 women. There's no way she'd be with a guy that's 5'5". She's lying about that too.
She's lying too, and he's absolutely right. Men's preferences are always shamed by females. They can't get it. They can't get through their heads that men think differently. They think that men, especially in the modern age, especially in the gynocracy, should think like women. We don't. We don't. Sorry, we don't. The same men that you love, honor, respect, and truly wish for don't think the way you do. They don't. In your heart of hearts, they don't think the way you do. Sorry to break it to you. We don't. We never have. We are only going to say and do what we can in order to get that sort of sexual attention we need. And yes, hey, it's a choice. A man can indeed love, honor, and respect you and only be for you and such and such and such, if that's his preference. But for the most part, as Myron has always said, we're going to give the umbrella and say, listen, it may rain. You may need this. So don't be upset that when it starts raining, you have your umbrella, and we tell you how to open it, that you can't open it, or you don't wish to open it. Because, unfortunately, it's the way it is. If a man, and it's true, if most men had the opportunity, they would, they would cheat on their wives, as long as they do it responsibly. And as long as they've worked their way to a point in life where they can and do so responsibly, as stated. Let's continue.
I've always had more than one woman. Every single time. Martin Luther King was smashing hoes.
Where did you get that one from?
And he did a bunch of stuff for civil rights.
That's true.
Great men always cheat, man.
You should get that on a t-shirt.
Martin Luther King did have...
Great men cheat.
Great men cheat. Great men cheat. That's his slogan. Get it on a t-shirt. Fuck off with it. You're the only person who's going to buy it.
No, it's not.
Churchill was probably smashing some hoes since we're here in London. He definitely was smashing some hoes. Probably Germans, too. You can't even take herself seriously, guys, see?
What would you do if I proposed to you?
I would never get down on one knee.
Why would you never get down on one knee?
She wants the relationship for me. She wants the marriage for me. Why am I going to get down on a knee? I'm the one that brings all the value.
But if it's
women also, I believe, need to ask you on a date, not date. She needs to ask you to be her girlfriend, or her boyfriend. Excuse me.
That is the most ridiculous statement I've ever had.
Absolutely.
A woman
Yeah.
needs to go into her masculine and ask you to be my partner.
Well, here's the thing. Women don't overtly do it. They always do it the sneaky way. What are we? Where do we stand? Etc. That is her basically asking you out. That's what I'm saying. It needs to get to that point where she's asking.
But do you see why they ask the man? Because the man leads the relationship. The man dictates the stage of the relationship. Hence, you guys have to ask us.
No. See, that is in an old world where women weren't. But nowadays, since we have feminism and we have all these bad habits from women need to ask for relationships. And I'll tell you why. They want to go to the club. They want to travel. They want to have guy friends. They want to do all this stupid shit, right? I have to have my standards and boundaries and be really strong with them to circumvent and, combat.
AKA frame, ladies and gentlemen.
You wouldn't have a relationship with any of these women.
Let me finish. If I ask her for a relationship, what I've effectively done is said, you are fine the way that you are. I want a relationship with you. And then she can go ahead and reserve the right to change at any time because I asked for the relationship. But if I say, hey, I don't, commit to girls that do X, Y, Z, well, guess what? She's going to shape up if she wants to go ahead and get this relationship. It's like a job interview. Men are the employers, women are the employees. You have to have certain standards. I treat every girl like a job applicant. And I'm a prestigious law firm. You got to go to Cornell for this.
Bang! Oh, Myron, an absolute masterclass performance. Let me say this. I'm trying to be as impartial as possible, but how can you deny him? How can you deny his stats? How can you deny his successes? How can you deny them? He's looking at you. Look at him. He's a millionaire who understands women, who has one woman and has many others, who the first woman knows about, and before you say she has low self-esteem, she's taken care of very well, and if you watch Fresh and Fit, packs his condoms before he heads out on the road. That's a successful man 101 right there. And that's what most successful women will do. Ask any woman in Europe, ask any woman of any sort of standing or success. They realize that, hey, I have a man who other women want. Every now and again, I have to turn a blind eye for this man. Because my name is in the will. My car is in the drive. My key is to the house. Or houses. And all he's asking for is a bit of fun on the side. You know what? As long as he doesn't embarrass me in public, so be it. Let him have it. Because he works that hard to obtain the life in which I live. And he comes home to me. So guess what? Well, a lot of women get that. But a lot of women don't. Especially modern women. Especially women of a younger age. They cannot get it. Well, they're starting to get it. Let me say that. They're starting to get it. But for the most part, they don't get it. Especially of the older variety. They can't get that. Oh, especially if they're single. Oh my God, they can't get it. Because they see romance, relationships, marriage through a female gaze. I for you and you for me. And no one shall put... let no woman put asunder, as they say in vows. In marital vows. But Myron's his own man. Look at him. He's his own man. He does his own thing. And women hate that. They hate a man who's in control. They cannot dictate terms to this man. And he has a legion of men who follow the same adage. Being totally impartial. He can't be broken down. He's made a success for himself. He's played the game against this gynocracy and won. He's won. That's one thing that women hate, is the fact that this man has played their game and won. It's supposed to be women who are the prize. It's supposed to be women who are supposed to win out. Happy wife, happy life. Remember? Remember that adage? He's the one who says happy king, happy kingdom. That irks them. That absolutely grates them to the core. And you know what? He is only a chosen few who can dictate said terms, unfortunately. Men like this are of the minority, remember, ladies. Not all men are like this. This is for you. Not all men are like this. Because not all men can achieve this sort of success and dictate the terms he can. For the most part, if we are going to have affairs or secret relationships, we have to hide them. Because we know there are financial repercussions for which we will have to pay financially and psychologically for. That's why a lot of men aren't taking the marriage deal. They're not doing it anymore. They're not doing it. Because they want that freedom to choose. That freedom of choice that Myron Gaines has at this point in time in his life. Add financial success to that. Add muscle to that. Add game to that. Add frame to that. And what you have is a man who cannot be torn asunder by any woman. Can't do it. Can't do it. And women hate that. They truly do, especially modern women. They hate that. A man who knows his worth, I can tell women what to do and how to do it. And they have to fall in line. Unfortunately. Let's finish this up.
I don't know. I can't believe what I've just heard. Is that actually how you think?
Absolutely.
Like, genuinely, that is. You're not saying that. You think
I
that.
am. Everything you've heard
You
today.
think women have to apply. So you're the prize.
Absolutely.
But you're
Yes.
traditional.
Yes.
Backwards. Because traditional men know they chase after a woman. That woman is the prize.
No, she's not.
Women are the prize, not the men. It's been
No,
that
it's
way
not.
since the beginning. We all
No,
know
it
that
hasn't.
way. That's one thing that's been
No, it hasn't.
undisputed.
No, it hasn't.
Women make things better. They are the added value that a man needs. A woman brings so much value to your relationship.
Men are the prize because men have to bring way more to the table than women do to
They
get a
do, it's
relationship.
true.
So therefore, we are the prize.
That's not true.
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely.
No, that's not true.
Men are the prize, not women, and you guys need to hold yourselves to that standard. That's how women respect you. Do you find most
Truth.
men attractive or unattractive?
Unattractive.
So would it be fair to say that you're picky?
Yes, very.
Okay. So if you find that guy, would it be fair to say that he's probably in the top 1 or 2% of men?
Mm-hmm.
By definition, he's the prize. Thank you.
No, I'm the prize.
Thank you.
I'm the prize.
Like, if
because
you're
I
picky,
picked you.
and you pick the top 2% of guys,
Yeah.
that means
Because I'm the top 2% of women, so we're both the prize. Well done, we got a great match.
No,
Yes.
not true.
Yes.
Not true at all.
So you don't think any woman is a valuable prize? You don't think any woman, you wouldn't ever meet a woman like, you know what? She is a prize.
No, there's great girls out there.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the man is the prize, and that's how it's got to work.
The man can't be the prize. It just the dynamic doesn't work anymore.
In every relationship,
It doesn't work anymore because we live in a gynocracy and women think that they run the world when in fact they don't. When they realize most households are built by men, roads are built by men, utilities are built by men, high tension wires are built by men, buildings are built by men. Most modern conveniences are built by men. You don't have this world without men. Ladies, be very, very honest about that. This world does not, in and of itself, exist without men. So just because you have a lot more rights these days doesn't mean that you are now the prize. You're not. Unfortunately, you're not. Especially if you're of high value like Myron. He's the prize. He's always been the prize. There are certain ladies, okay, fine, who are beautiful, or who are young and who are pretty, and who have certain advantages of their youth, beauty, and fertility. But are they the builders? Are they the creators? Are they the ones who run STEM? Are they the ones who make the world what it is? They aren't. See Bear Grylls' The Island, and that's a perfect example of where women would be without men. Life would be nasty, brutish, and short. I gotta say. It's true. There is a new dawn of women who are understanding this. There are still those holdouts, and we understand that. We understand there are holdouts. However, if you hold yourself to a certain standard, gentlemen, you'll know you are. You'll know who you are. And you know where you'll stand with women, unfortunately. But you can't make yourself so expendable and so simpish and so literally downtrodden as to allow women to think that they're the prize. Because if you do, then they have won. Absolutely. They have won. If you keep a good account of yourselves, ladies need to realize what they have in front of them, and the one thing that you do to lower your standard to a woman is if you get fat, get lazy, you have kids before their time, you're financially irresponsible, and you must fall to a woman's power in order to get their attention or to save yourself. But if you hold yourself to a high standard, if you learn game, if you hold frame, if you get more money and get more muscle, women can't dictate terms. That is an impossibility. They will fall in line with you. They will wait with you. They will take your last name. They will have your babies. They will have your babies. But it's only if you hold yourself to a certain standard. If you don't, who are we to judge? Who are we to say where you stand with ladies? But, the whole segment of the population who we spell S-I-M-P. S's. Totally literal population, and basically who porn and OnlyFans have built their fortunes. And it's a shame. It's a literal shame. But hey, to each their own. But again, you're bringing the standard of men down, quite simply. And we're going to focus on one of these gentlemen tomorrow. Believe me. Let's finish this off.
To be the adored and the
adorer.
The adorer. The adorer gets more emotional stimulation, right, than the adored. Guess who needs to have emotional stimulation to be happy in a relationship? The woman.
Men.
No, we don't need emotional stimuli to be with a girl.
You just don't even realize it.
No, we don't.
You have gone through so much.
We are totally content with our girl being quiet.
By her just saying that you need emotional stimuli, you just don't know it, means that we don't need emotional stimuli. You've literally given away. She's literally said to herself that men don't need emotional stimuli. You need it, but you don't know it yet, meaning you don't need it. She's literally ruined her own argument. I would have called that out if I were Myron, but again, he's already taken us to the woodshed. Let's have her finish.
Serving us sandwiches.
You are. He loves the sandwiches, guy.
Sandwiches are great.
We both need emotional stimulation. Yes, we do, but men feel like they don't, and they don't feel it, they don't show it, and it's damaging for men.
We don't need it to the same degree that you guys need it.
No, because we are slightly more emotional, but we both
way
need
more
it.
Emotional.
We both need it.
Okay, but women need it to a higher degree. So since women need it to a higher degree, they need to be in the adorer position.
True.
Okay? And on top of that, since women are hypergamous, which I mentioned before, they need to feel like they're with the best guy. What represents that a woman is with the best guy better than her chasing that guy's validation? It doesn't work the other way around, because when you pedestalize women, or she thinks she's better than you...
Why can't you pedestal each other?
That doesn't make sense.
Why?
That's like saying...
I can adore you, you can adore me. I can lift you up, you can lift me up. And it's a
the term
team
pedestalization
effort.
in itself
it's putting someone on a pedestal.
It infers there's a better party.
That. But
you can't both pedestalize each other.
You can have one day on it, I'll hop off,
and you know what?
Can
I'm a smart retard.
But why would you be the protector of a woman if she's meant to be looking after you and doing all of these things and admiring, worshiping you? Shouldn't we be the ones protecting you then? If
that's
you're so high up here.
Yeah, that's how loyal we are.
No, that's not.
That's how loyal men
Women are supposed to be
we'll
held
protect
up
somebody
here,
that's
and
inferior
you
to
protect
us.
it because they're valuable,
Thank
because
you.
they're the prize.
Prove my point.
Here's the thing, ladies, that you may not realize is the fact that when we pedestalize you, you lose interest in us. It's true. When we show you, when we adore you, and we're calling you every day, and we're on the phone, we're texting you at all the hours of the day, and we're seeing how you're doing. We're trying to be the best man possible, and we're literally being your lackeys. You lose interest in us. I've seen it happen time in and time out of men who poured their hearts into their women and yet still got divorced. Why? Because unfortunately, when you have such a high interest in women, they lose interest in you. It's been proven time and time again. It's the old saying, even though there may be a negative connotation to it, but it's true. Treat them mean, keep them keen. Meaning, You can't be so, in a modern day, you cannot be so into a woman, that you lose yourself. That you lose yourself in her. That you pedestalize her. That you put her above, she's above all else, you should adore it. No. And she can literally walk all over you. Men without backbone, men without standards, men without frame are literally left by women because they want a man who takes charge and literally runs shit. I've learned that over time. As Kevin said, your greatest passion should be your work. Women should be second or third on the list. You should want to protect and provide for her. You may want to die for her, but never should you want to be her doormat. Never. Never. Because you do, she'll lose interest in you. I'll guarantee it, she'll lose interest in you. She'll find some other man who with a backbone. Some other man who, I don't have to be under her. I've got work to do. I've got a passion to be involved with. I've got to put food on the table. I got business to attend to. I've got work to do. When you chase those passions, women will chase you. It's been said from time immemorial. Men who have small businesses, men who take care of ish, usually find women who stay with them longer because they are always chasing their attention, chasing their adulation. When men are chasing women's adulation, they only see you as second-class citizens. That's why men, the one thing you do is you never chase a woman. Never chase her. She'll dry up quicker than a tide that goes out to sea. Never throw her so much interest as to lose your purpose, your goals, your drive, your way to a better life.
No.
We will sit there and protect someone that's inferior to us. That is the definition of loyalty. That's what I said at the top of the show. I said men are more loyal than women, and we'll sit there and protect someone that's inferior to us, weaker than us, dumber than us. It sucks at everything, by the way, which I mentioned, to include driving, right? We'll sit there and protect y'all because we're that fucking loyal.
But you still go and cover people, so there's no loyalties whatsoever.
If I pedestalize you, that infers you have more value than me. If I infer that you have more value than me, that means that you're with a lower status man. If you perceive me, hold on. If you perceive me as lower status, you lose respect.
Listen to this.
You respect me, you don't fuck me anymore. That's where most guys are. They're sitting there pedestalizing girl. Please, I hope you like me. No, the girl needs to like the guy more. Going back to my thing. This is why women need to ask the guy to be in a relationship. Because when a woman asks for the relationship, the guy can put his standards. He can make her actually appreciate the position that she gets in, aka the law firm. Because if you work your ass off to get into a law firm that has high standards, guess what? You're not fucking leaving because it was really hard for you to get it. Women only respect what they have to work to get. And since women don't work for anything in life, remember hence what I said before, living life on easy mode, they need to work hard to get the man that they want.
Women don't need to work for men. You even said it yourself, women have life on easy.
No, they need to work for high value men. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They need to work for men of value. You don't have to be high value, but men of value. Let's call it there. They need to work for men of value. Yes, they do. They do. Because the numbers don't lie. There are more of women than there are of men. Especially of men who can protect and provide. Way less more. Way less. And for you to get a man as such, he is indeed the prize. So you need to work in order to get that. And you can't give up that love and promise freely. There has to be work done. Especially if there are deficiencies in your makeup, ladies. Remember makeup? You need to do the work, ladies, in order to be with that man. And Myron is absolutely correct in this. Once you do the work and you've been chosen, there's a greater chance that you will stick with that man because you've had to work so hard, as Myron has eloquently said, to get into that law firm, to get that job, to be that lady. And if that's the case, chances are you'll never leave that guy because you worked so hard to get him. Yeah. But if a guy had to work so hard for you, chances are, ladies, you'll always think, oh, there's got to be a better guy out there, and you'll lose respect for that guy, and you'll leave it. It's happened time in and time out. The more a man pedestalizes, the more he realizes that a woman will eventually leave it. Let's finish this up quickly. This is the last one.
Why do we need to work when a million men will have us without any work?
The only thing women should work for, is for their man.
When it's their man, then they
to
work
get the man
together.
that they want.
No, because why am I going to work for you, right, when I can have a million men?
That makes you a whore.
No, I'm not going to have a million men. I'm saying my options are a million men that are going to...
Well, you said yourself you only want the top 2%, right?
Yeah, okay, and in that top 2%, they're all going to admire me. They're all going to bring me up. They're all going to elevate me. They're all going to admire me and make me feel great as a woman and make me feel feminine. But you want me to work for you. I'm not going to pick you. I'm not going to ask you to be my partner because now you're making me masculine. I don't want to be my masculine. I'm going to find someone who's going to keep me my feminine in all sense.
Do you want the job or not?
No, absolutely not.
So then you end up being unemployed.
By you.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to go...
And you know who the unemployed are? And we're going to leave it right there. You know who the unemployed are? The half of women aged 18 to 42 by the year 2030 who will be single. There's going to be a lot of unemployed women out there. A lot. Relationship unemployed. Call them the relationship unemployed. There will be a lot of them. Looks like Shaq beat Kevin to the board tonight. Yes, he did. Anyways, there'll be a lot of unemployed females out there come 2030. Simply because they aren't willing to do the job. Look at Asia right now. There's a whole lot of single ladies out there. Because women are choosing not to do the job, especially in Japan and especially in South Korea, whose birth rate are plummeting at the moment. Because they're choosing to be unemployed. You thought the pandemic was bad. Wait until you see these female unemployed. They're worse. They're unfit, they're unfriendly, they're unfeminine, they're uncooperative, they're unsubmissive, and they will remain on the unemployment line. So let's just bring this back. Thank you very much to Standout TV for this. Please go and like and subscribe to these guys. It's a wonderful conversation that they had here. We're going to leave it there. Hold on. Let me see if there's anything else to say here. I'm just going to bring it back. One quick last time. Let's hear it.
Get a better job with someone else.
With a simp?
Who's gonna ask me?
Who's not going to protect and provide for you? That's going to say, let's split the bill. That's going to be 5'1". Oh.
There's men out there that will provide and protect.
Yep,
and
those are the ones.
And not make you graft like you're on a job interview. That's ridiculous.
Women only appreciate what they work for. And unfortunately, that's the world that we're in now, where we have so many entitled women.
I think that's very
They need
false.
to work. They need to. Well, you don't know because you're not a man. You never dealt with women from a male perspective as a male.
Yeah, so I don't think you've dealt with women probably from a male perspective. I don't know what kind of women.
Okay, that just shows her stupidity because you're dealing with a man right in front of you. Anyways, we're just going to leave it right there. She has been such an absolute, outright failure at this debate. Failed miserably at this debate. Absolutely miserably. Shout out to King Omen. She's failed miserably at this debate. Unbelievably so. But that's neither here nor there. As you can see the quizzical look on Myron's face, we'll leave it right there because even I don't know what to say to some of the arguments she had, some of the retorts and points that she put forth in this debate. And she is just, wow. It's an absolute shit show. Anyways, we're back here. we're just gonna wrap things up. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I have to say Myron ran the show. And if you ever read the comments on this debate on Standout TV, and he won! Yes, indeed. Yes. Well, he did indeed beat. Kenny did beat, Shaq did beat Kenny on that little run in there. But anyways, let's finish this up by saying this. Myron ran the show, and it's no reason because he has a double, triple, quadruple black belt in womanese and the like, and how to deal with them. There's very, very few women who can debate with, and I would say very, very few, if not any women who can debate with Myron on the subject of intersexual dynamics. He is a master at it. He is an absolute Bruce Lee level master at this topic. And the Standout TV host, whose name escapes me, and I really don't want to know, she got caught off guard. Quite simply, she got caught off guard. And she never knew the sort of mess she got herself into when taking on this debate, because it was an absolute shite show on her part. But anyways, it goes to show that, if you're a man of a certain level, you don't have to kowtow to women's needs at the end of the day. You don't. You literally do not. You can run a show according to your wants, needs, and demands. And at the end of the day, if you don't do that, women will dislike you, period. They don't stay, and women only see the surface of it. They don't see the work it takes to be of that level. The amount of years it takes for a man to have those sort of standards. Now, again, you could be a gentleman doing this, and I insist on being a gentleman doing this, but you, nonetheless, should not kowtow to a woman and her and such wants and needs, especially modern women, especially women of this, especially of this Western world. You shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to do that, because there are women abroad who have who are willing to fight for their men, who are willing to work for their men, and there are women here who are willing to work for a man, as long as you hold certain set standards. And I am going to be discussing one man who doesn't have those certain set standards, and who literally is the blackest simp I've seen in years. Tomorrow night on Talk Live, we're going to get into it. We're going to have that discussion, because quite simply, wow. The way this guy goes about his thing. And the thing about it is, you can definitely tell his background, his foreground, his future ground, just by this one show and comment. You can see it. It's there for all to see. And we're going to break it down tomorrow night on Talk Live. So join us then. We're going to have a nice little, sweet little hour with regards to that, because I don't want to carry that any further. I'm just going to get a few words, and I'm going to just go in. So join me tomorrow for that. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live on IG and YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. And looking forward to seeing you then. So we're going to say goodnight to YouTube. We're going to say goodnight. Thank you for everyone who joined in and had something to say. It was very nice to see you all. We're getting a lot more. We're getting a few more visitors. My TikTok numbers are up tonight. Let me say that. And it was due to a lot of you people checking them out. And again, especially on Instagram, especially on my Facebook, Facebook devotees. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live. Thank you very much for all the likes you're showing me on TikTok. They're going up. They're going out. And I do appreciate that. So like and subscribe and comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and I look forward to being back with you again tomorrow for one more show before the weekend, and the weekend begins. Big weekend for me, as you can see. Oh wow, it's true. Wow, another butt crack moment from Ernie. Sorry, not from Ernie, from Kenny. My goodness. He never does belts up. I don't know what it is. His pants always keep falling. Anyways, I'm going to get back to the game. I'm going to get back to some food. I'm just going to take down for the night. And then we're going to come back tomorrow with another show. And I really got to... Oh, God. This black simp. Let me say the Requiem to a Black Simp. Wow. 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 what I saw today was mind-blowing, and I'll show you that tomorrow night on Talk Talk Live. So thank you very much for joining me, and we'll see you tomorrow. And as always, it was a pleasure seeing you. And we're sponsored by Duntalk, DUNTLK.com. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Good night from Toronto, IG. And we're going to say goodnight to you here on YouTube. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Talk Live. And hopefully this goes out. If not, I'm going to rectify the matter right away. Post-haste, I'm going to deal with my technical staffs in order to do that because I've seen some technical issues with regards to that on my YouTube. I'm going to my technical staff in order to get that done. So thank you very much for joining me on Talk Talk Live. Live on IG and YouTube. Sponsored by Duntalk, DUNTLK.com. I got to deal with these. Luckily, my internet didn't go down tonight, so thank goodness for that. But I'm getting my internet people on this because, quite simply, I have been totally dismayed. Rogers, you suck, quite simply, and we're going to go on from there. But again, we'll see you tomorrow night on Talk Talk Live. And just stay tuned for local listings on those things on TikTok, on my IG.